Hey Virgo, Virgo Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Hope that you're all doing well. Welcome to the channel if you're new. This is Kelly with Amaranth Tarot, and I just have missed you all. Let me tell you, I'm sorry. I've had lots going on and needed some time to heal, but nonetheless, let's get your readings for you. Please note it's a general reading, so the messages won't resonate with everyone. Take things that do, leave the rest. None of it resonates, it's okay. Just means it's not your message this time. And if you could all do me a favor and hit like, that would be amazing, as it helps to support the channel and will help me to continue doing what I'm doing. So the first card that's flipped over in the shuffle here, I've got the King of Pentacles. So we'll keep that in mind, but I'm going to put it back because I'm going to do a proper cut here of the deck for Virgos. We got for Virgos, please. Now's good. There we are. Bottom of the deck, we have the moon. Okay. So that would be the overall energy. You could have some, I guess you could say, fears or worries coming to surface at this point in time. It could be subconscious fears, something that you've buried down because you just haven't wanted to deal with emotions. And let's be real, I mean, Virgos are practical. They don't usually care to be in their emotional states. They like to just deal with everything head on. It can speak of illusions or fears, anxiety, or even your intuition for that matter. It's representing those fears and illusions that often come out, say, when you're projecting fear into your present or into your future based on past experiences. There could be some painful memories that are causing emotional distress, and rather than dealing with those emotions, like we said, it could be, you've pushed them down into your subconscious. And so now they're trying to come up, right? Like they're bubbling to the surface. They're trying to make a reappearance, and you may find yourself under that influence on a conscious or subconscious level. It would be like a trauma, anything from, I don't know, say if you were robbed at one point in time in your life and you didn't deal with the emotions of it, you could get sad or anxious every time you're walking home at night because you're worried that it's going to happen again. And even if your mind consciously isn't aware of it, your subconscious mind is releasing or triggering that fear response or that anxiety. And so with the subconscious mind, it would be important to release any of the fears or anxieties that are holding you back. There could be, you could do hypnosis therapy or shamanic healing or anything like that. There's that new trauma processing thing, I don't know, where people lie down and they shake, right? It's like they shake it out of their bodies. If it's not that, it could just indicate a time of uncertainty and illusion when nothing is what it seems. Don't make any fast decisions is what that card says, because you could later realize that you had only a fraction of all of the information that you required to make that decision. It's about listening to your trust and your intuition, and you could be so hard focused on work that, or not even work, it could be family or relationships, that you just haven't spent the time connecting to your intuition. But it's asking to let go of conscious mental blocks so that you can allow your intuition to guide you, right? You may even be getting messages through your dreams, and that is your inner guidance that's trying to lead you forward toward higher levels of understanding, right? So there's that. And here we go. At the center of the read, we've got well, I'm not going to say lovely, but it looks as though it's the Three of Swords. But the good thing is that the Three of Swords means that these emotions are ready to come up. And I say that because when it's down, that's all the pain, and that would be that suppression. But because it's standing reversed, I'm getting a sense that now is the time. Now is the time for you to release these previous pains that have been burdening you for so long. Okay? Your challenge is you. No, you could be also dealing with another Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn because this is an earth sign energy. But your challenge again is your practicality, right? Our strengths can also be our weaknesses. It's a double edged sword. So as you're trying to keep everything together and you're trying to keep up the space, the space of I've got it all under control and going after your dreams in terms of money or material successes and security, trying to nurture your family, be the good, parent, whatever it is that you're doing here. Again, the challenge has been you're spending so much time nurturing others and doing all of these things that you're not taking the time for you and to focus on the huge important part of yourself, which is a major arcana here being your emotions. So I feel like whatever be the case, you've been running from it for so long that it's got nowhere else to go but out. So you may have felt yourself a little emotional or over emotional as well in the last little while down to the moon cycles, because the moon can also represent lunar cycles. It's possible that, maybe you were just affected by those cycles, right? Because it also can refer to a woman's menstrual cycle, okay? So that could also have been throwing you off. Could have been hormonal issues, and it doesn't even have to be female. I mean, even men. I mean, what did they say? That the police stations are the busiest always around a full moon. Okay? So I'm getting this feeling that, yeah, you've had a lot going on that you've suppressed. There we go. And at the foundation here, like the reason that this is happening was there was a tower moment. Now this could be, again, like I was saying earlier, about a trauma that you experienced in the past possibly. And it could have been something really big of a deal. It could have been a death, and if so, I'm so sorry. It could have been a near death. Maybe you had a near death experience. Perhaps it was a vehicle accident, or I don't know, maybe somebody overdosed. This can be a very traumatic card. And when it's in the reverse, it means that complete disaster was averted. So it's possible that you avoided it, but now that kind of makes sense to me as to why you have all of this anxiety or depression or fear, is because you probably went through something here and you said, oh, thank goodness it didn't happen. But guess what? Even the thought or being that close to it happening still has an impact. So perhaps you just stuffed your feelings down because you said, oh, well, it didn't happen, so I'm okay. But the reality of the situation is that you still, in a sense, energetically felt as though it happened. So it kind of got stuck there, that fear, that oh my gosh, what if, and then your body clamped and the emotion is stuck there. That's what I'm feeling and I'm getting from that. But what's good about this is that when it's reversed, it's asking that there's time for, or to make time for, personal transformation, because you may have a fear of change. So that could be another piece of it too. Maybe you've stuffed down emotions because you don't want to have to make a change in your life, because maybe you don't want to lose something, right? And a lot of us do that. It's like, oh dear, if I do this, then or if I actually listen to what will make me happy, that means I got to make some big changes. And some of us, we're just not, at that point or want to deal with that. So you could be undergoing significant personal transformation and upheaval, and that usually differences as well from the Tower upright, where the change is often because of external circumstances. And usually when it's upright, it feels like it's been forced upon you, but because it's in reverse, and because you have that moon, and you have the Three of Swords in reverse and that suppression, this is inner transformational change, or at least that's what the cards are speaking to. Okay? And it's interesting because you won't realize this, but your subconscious is instigating the change and calling into question the fundamental belief systems or values or your purpose and your meaning. Maybe some of you are starting to go through a spiritual awakening, and that could be what the pain is, because when that happens, we start to lose people, right? We start to see things very differently, and spiritual awakenings are very lonely at times, because a lot of the old gets replaced with the new, and that means people, places, and things. So it's a lot of change, okay? But while it can be unsettling, trust the process and do know that it is for the best, because you're creating a change and transformation so that you can step into a new and evolved version of yourself. Perhaps you're resisting change and delaying that necessary destruction and upheaval, as we said, right? Because it's that denial, because you're clinging to the old way, because you don't want to make those changes. But again, it's good if we acknowledge it and we take the time to put the effort in. And just as I say that, here's a page of wands. So this could have been something in your recent past to do. Maybe you received some news, but it looks as though it's good news. Or maybe this was an opportunity that was brought to you. You received a message about an opportunity to take a new approach to things, or to go somewhere, to go traveling. Maybe even you got asked out on a date, and even though it hadn't reach the romantic stage or whatever, it was just, yeah, let's go out. Or maybe you were just hanging out with friends, and then all of a sudden, ooh, you know, you started developing feelings possibly for someone, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe you've now fallen for somebody, or someone you're dealing with has fallen for someone else other than who they're with, right? Three of Swords, third party. So maybe now it's coming into question, do I want to stay where I'm at? Do I want to stay with the person that I'm with? Or is this fun, new, exciting, messages that are being tossed back and forth, this flirtation, is that maybe where I want to go? Or maybe, you're so embedded in your job and you've invested years and years, and now all of a sudden you're getting word of an opportunity to change, but you're close to all of the people in your job, and you've gone through so much, and you're saying to yourself, I don't want to leave. The focus here, there it is the emotions. So it's the beginning of an emotional situation, but because it's the ace, it's your emotional situation. So I think that you're very brave and you're very wise, Virgos, because despite the fact that you don't want to have to sit down with those pesky emotions, I'm getting the sense that it's a necessity at this point in time. But this is also about self-love, because you see, it's pouring that cup onto oneself. So your focus is now, how do I balance this out? How do I make things better so that I do feel emotionally content? But again, new love, so I get the feeling something has come in and just completely turned your world upside down. And because I'm getting this love feeling, I do have the sense that somebody made you feel alive and excited recently, and because of it, you're scared to maybe get involved. Maybe you're scared to get involved in a relationship because you've had your heart broken before, and you're like, you know what, been there, done it, healed over it, don't want to go through it again, right? And maybe now you're seeing somebody from the past that you broke up with, and you're like, oh, thank gosh I didn't end up with that person. But now you're even more protective of yourself, because you're like, I don't know, do I let love in, right? So there's that healing. Could be dealing with an Aquarius, all right? Doesn't have to be, but that's what the star card represents. Or a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, or Cancerian or Pisces for the moon energy here. Another earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or you also have Scorpio energy here. But signs don't really matter, as we have so many of them in our charts. But the outcome still of this in this situation is that you're not healing yet, and you're not going after your dreams, and you're not going after what you really want. And maybe that's the point. Maybe what you want is going to uproot or disrupt other people's lives, and maybe that's what you're afraid of. Maybe you're stopping yourself from having what it is that you want because you're so scared that it's going to have a negative effect on those that you love. But really, Virgos, at the end of the day, stability is fine, but things change. Not everything is going to stay the same. And if you're denying yourself love because you're worried about other people, they will adjust. And who's to say that this change, like, say if you met someone out of town or out of province or out of state or out of country, who's to say if you didn't move and you took your kids with you that they wouldn't love where they're going to go? You just don't know. And who knows if you're not that person to be that vehicle for what they're supposed to experience. Maybe this is supposed to happen on the grand scheme of things. You know, you meet a new person, you move across country, you take your kids, and then all of a sudden they meet the bestest friends and get the best opportunity, land places on the football team. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know if this is not all integrated and meant to be. So despite the fears of what could be lost here, it's saying go for it. There you are. You're afraid of losing maybe a marriage here. So if you have fallen for somebody else outside of it, or a long-term commitment that you're already in and you've met somebody new, vice versa, maybe you're afraid of losing the stability of the home that you've put money into, or you know, there's something about longevity here. So in your energy, it's you're not wanting to let go of a house, a job, a career, a connection, because you feel stable in it. And that's what it is. You feel stable in it. Because of that, your emotions, and let me tell you, they're telling you it's time to change course, that, you know, even though it feels comfortable, it's not your dream come true. It's not the path that you're supposed to be on, because we follow the star, or we head towards the star, but because this is in reverse, this is not where you're meant to be. Your higher self is trying to tell you this, but yet you're not listening to it. So what's going to happen, unfortunately, too, and with this tower, is yes, you've averted disaster up to this point, or you've averted something ending, but what I'm getting here is that if you keep ignoring your emotions and what your inner guidance is trying to tell you and what changes need to be made, eventually this card is going to turn upright and the universe will literally come in and destroy it for you. And the reason why is because we make these soul contracts prior to coming to Earth, where we say, hey, you know, I really want this for myself. So yes, we have free will to a degree, but you'll find very much that free will start pushing back against you when your spirit guides and angels are trying to get you back on track. How do you get on track? Well, the chariot. And the chariot does what? It follows the star. So I get the feeling there's something that's been long term for you with that 10 of Pentacles in reverse that you're finding it hard to give up. Wow. And the King of Pentacles came up. So here we go. This is stability in your environment. You could be married. This could be a father figure. Maybe you're taking care of a father. But this is also somebody who's a provider. So I'm getting the sense that maybe some of you met a very wealthy person. Maybe they're getting out of a marriage, or maybe they've gotten out of a marriage, or they're almost about to get out of a marriage. Maybe that's what you're waiting on news from, or a long-term commitment for that matter. But I'm really getting the sense that there's somebody here who wants to provide for you. They want to give to you. They want to provide stability. They want to provide security for you. And they have the ways and the means to do so. But you are scared, Virgos. You're like, no, I'm not going to, put all my eggs in one basket, because if this person holding the basket drops it, all those eggs are gone. I get it. There it is. Okay, and your hopes and fears. There's a fear here of begging. There's a fear here of being controlled. There's a fear here of having to ask for money, which makes sense. So it's like, if you give everything to this person, you move in with them, you marry them, whatever be the case, and you let them, provide for you, are you scared that you're going to be controlled by them? Because yes, it's very possible. People can control others by ways of money. But because this is coming up in the upright, I'm not getting the sense that it would be necessarily a bad thing. You may be afraid to lose your independence, but look at this. We have two counterparts here. We've got the King and the Queen of Pentacles. These are a pair, right? So you've been doing this all along, but I feel like you're afraid of this. Or again, some of you might be afraid to leave the connection that you're already in, because you're afraid that you'll lose out on the benefits, whatever those are, in the connection that you have, which is the stability. and security. So the outcome, what I'm seeing here for you is the Knight of Wands, more fire energy. So you got, I get a feeling a few of you are dealing with a fire sign because you got two court cards now that are showing up, fire energy. So that would also make sense why you're feeling a little bit nervous to give in, is because this individual, the Knight of Wands, is someone who gets all of these wonderful ideas. They show up and they romance you. They completely sweep you off your feet. And then, you know, you have this passionate night of lovemaking and everything is just so amazing. And then boom, you wake up the next morning. Where are they? They're gone. I was like, what? Where'd they go? They didn't leave their phone number, you know, but they find you again eventually. So maybe it's that in and out energy that you're afraid of. Or perhaps you're going to be doing this. You're going to be dabbling in and out with this person and say, do I want to leave the security and the stability of everything that I already have? You know, maybe I'll look into other jobs. Do I want to leave this job? Will the benefits be good? You know, whatever. Stick your toe in the water. But I really get the feeling that there's also some excitement here and there's going to be new opportunities. And I feel like you're going to get this bold, excited energy to just say, you know what? To heck with it. I need to also live here. I need to have some excitement in my life. So let's get a little bit of clarity. What is this Knight of Wands, please, for Virgo? Three of Pentacles. See, it told you action. Action towards building something here. Three of Pentacles. So that's working on a relationship, creating a new life, mastering another relationship, right? So I don't feel like everything is that scary, despite the fact that you might think so. However, I do understand why. But I think Spirit is even saying, you know, even if you don't want to go all in immediately, still give things a try on your own time when you can. Meaning, if you're separated, go for dates here and there. Doesn't mean you have to go all in the moment. Just show up. Just show up and let it build, right? Let something build. If it's a new job, ask more questions about it. Ask, you know, what are possibilities for advancement? What are possibilities for travel? Because maybe that's it. Some of you may want a job or you want to travel. But again, I'm getting abroad for some reason. So some of you have a choice to do something overseas or in a different country or state or town. But anyways, let's get you a postcard from Spirit. Nonetheless, there are exciting times coming here. You're going to be swept off your feet. You're going to be having fun. There's going to be a little bit more fun coming into your life, okay? So, here's your postcard. It says, Dearest you, we have a secret to share with you. If you act as if all is well, it will be. Act as if you are brave, and you will have courage. Act as if you are loved, and you will be a magnet for love and experience the love of Spirit. Act as if your prayers have been answered, as if you are truly in sync with good fortune. How you think is how you will see the world, interact with it, and draw conclusions from it. If you want to be the person who has the life you want, co-creating and loving what is yours, you need to start acting as if that were the truth. Don't worry about the conditions in your life that seem empty or cavernous, chaotic or barren. These are temporary and don't even count. Defy them and act as if you're the luckiest person on the planet. You will be, for you already are. That's the real secret. You are infinite potential. Loving you so much. Rainbows explode in the ether. Wow, Virgos. Are you kidding me? That's what they're saying. Dig deep, find that courage and that passion to just be bold and brave and just act on whatever it is you want to do, even if you do it in little increments, okay? Or even if you dip your toe in. There's something for you, your dream back here, the star that's waiting for you, okay? All right, Virgos, I hope you have an amazing rest of your evening. Talk to you soon. Bye.